Hey you guys, it's your girl T and it's time for another recap of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, aka The Bold and the Ratchet. This week's episode was nuts, so let's go ahead and get this recap started. So in the opening scene, we pick up where we left off last week, where they unveil the curtain, and Masika in this tub full of bootleg ass diamonds is sitting there naked, and you can tell Miss Nikki Baby is pissed off. She feels like, you know what, why the hell is Masika here? Why is her face on this billboard? You know, I don't understand how she got picked, but all that's gonna have to wait because Hazel E's in the building and she goes up to go talk to Masika, and she starts talking about Young Berg, and Masika's like, you know what, I'm not trying to argue with you about him, this is some bullshit. And then all of a sudden her ex-best friend Tia Marie walks up, and Tia Marie has some words for Hazel E, and Tia Marie's like, you know what, I've been working with Berg and I'm hearing that you're talking a lot of shit about me, you're spreading a lot of rumors. And Hazel E's like, nah, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm just letting you know what went on between us wasn't cool. And Masika's like, yeah, you were talking shit about her. So now Masika and Tia Marie call themselves trying to tag team Hazel E. Miss Nikki Bay wants to get involved because she has a few words for Masika, but she's like, you know what, fuck it, let them go ahead and do their little thing with Hazel E. I'm just gonna sit back here with my tea, stir it up, and take a long hot sip. So the whole time that they're going in on Hazel E and going back and forth with her, you can tell Hazel E's really pissed off. She's hurt because she really felt like Tia Marie and Masika were both her friends, and now they both turned on her, and now they're both working with Young Berg and basically speaking highly of him and then dissing her in the same breath. So that whole situation was just a mess. Hazel E ends up just storming out the whole party, and to me it didn't even look like a grand opening. It just looked like some scripted ass shit where everybody just came to confront Hazel E about some shit that Young Berg said or did. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have Little Fizz, and he's in the garage looking all cute, and Amanda pulls up, and Amanda is pissed off. Amanda says she's been calling Little Fizz and he's been refusing to answer her phone calls. So Little Fizz is like, you know, what's up, what you doing here? And Amanda's like, you need to check your baby's mother. Do you know she pulled my hair? That's some bullshit. What I find funny about the whole situation is that Amanda did not make any mention about what she did to Moniece to get Moniece to fly off the handle and pull her hair. She acts like Moniece just watching the restaurant and just grabbed her hair and put her face down in the damn concrete. You know, Little Fizz is like, well, that's on you because first of all, I didn't tell you to call my baby's mother. I didn't tell you to reach out to her. You chose to reach out to her and she flipped out on you. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all are crazy as hell. Both of y'all are running me crazy. All I want is a mother and a companion for me and my son. You're on one thing, Moniece is on another thing. I'm just tired of it. And you can tell Little Fizz is just really, really fed up, and Amanda's pissed off. She's going off on Little Fizz. She's cussing him out. And Little Fizz is like, you know what, I'm not trying to hear all this, Amanda. You know what I'm saying? You're full of shit. You want to run the streets with your dude and, you know, go do this, this, and that. Then you want to call my baby's mother, and then now you want to come out and flip on me as if I had something to do with that, as if it's my job to just keep her in line 24/7. So then Little Fizz is like, you know what, I'm done arguing with this. You're stupid. I'm done with this. He ends up walking up in the house, and then Amanda gets up in her truck and she ends up driving off. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have April and Omarion, and April's literally about to pop. This woman is so cute pregnant. She looks really, really pretty. And April's going through a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? She reveals to Omarion that she's really, you know, secretly jealous of the relationship that Omarion has with Leslie, because Leslie is just so, you know, she goes to bat for her son. She really cares about her son. They have a really, really close bond. And poor April doesn't have that same relationship with her mother. Her mom is from Thailand, and basically her father was some type of criminal. He ended up in prison, and the mother gave April and her sister, and it seems like April and her sister must be both black and Asian, possibly by her father. They must have the same father, because the mother gave those two up, and she had the grandmother of the father raise April and her sister, and then the mother kept her older daughters with her, who I'm assuming are full Asian. So there's a lot of dynamics to this situation. You know, while April is a beautiful girl, you can tell she's been through a lot, especially with her heritage. She doesn't know much about her Asian side. Her mom doesn't open up to her. Her mom doesn't give her any information. She doesn't really know a whole lot about her father. So she's like, she just feels like she's in a lot of turmoil, because she feels like, you know, what can I tell my son? What can I tell my son about his heritage and his lineage? You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't know anything about that. So that whole situation was just really, really sad. And Omarion's just trying to have her back and, you know, make her feel comfortable, let her know that regardless of the situation, they're starting their own family, and that Omarion's going to be there for her no matter what. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have Soulja Boy nagging ass Nia, and once again Nia's nagging, and you know she's ready to move into the house with Soulja Boy, and Soulja Boy's like, pump the brakes, bitch. No, he didn't say pump your brakes, but you know what I'm saying? That's what he wanted to say. It's like all of a sudden Soulja Boy done changed his mind. I think that meeting with Teddy Riley has him scared or something, because now all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I think you need to hold off on moving in with me because I'm about to go on tour. I'm going to be gone for about the next 2-3 weeks. And I don't want you at the house. A lot of folks know where I live. A lot of the fans know where I live. There's no security. It's not a gated community. And I don't need nobody running up on you and, you know, her daughter Cameron. He's like, I don't need nobody running up on y'all. You know, I think we need to get a whole new place where nobody knows where we stay and things like that. So now Nia's looking at him like, but why? You know, I don't understand. Like, why can't we move in with you? We've been planning this. What has changed? I don't get it. I want to move in with you, and so does my daughter. Soulja Boy, what are you doing to me? I don't get it. And she's just nagging and carrying on, and I'm like, somebody shut this chick up. Goodness. So she's just going off, and Soulja Boy's like, no, we're not moving in together. That's the end of that. I want us to find a place that can, you know, that can be comfortable for both of us. We need to get at least a 3-bedroom. And he's like, on top of that, I need me a man cave. And he's like, well, why do you need a man cave, Soulja Boy? Like, why do you need a man cave? I don't get it. What do you need a man cave for? He's like, because I like to get turned up and smoke weed. Like, what else do I need a man cave for? And I'm sitting here cracking up like, Soulja Boy is such a damn mess. But he keeps it 100. He's like, you know what? You knew when you got with me I was a pothead. You knew when you got with me I like to get turned up, and I'm not changing that for nobody. Even though I love you and I love your daughter, I'm gonna still be that turned up ass weed head, point blank period. So now Nia's like, you know what, I have no choice but to just kind of go with what you say. Fine, we'll give you another 2 to 3 weeks, but within the next 2 to 3 weeks we better be moved into your house, Soulja Boy. Like I've said from day one, Nia needs to get back with her baby daddy and go on ahead and go do the family thing with him. And Soulja Boy needs to do his single thing. I don't doubt for one moment the only reason why he doesn't want Nia to be there is because he doesn't want his side chicks to pop up at the house while Nia's there with her daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's not about safety. It's not about security. Soulja Boy, you can run that game on somebody else who's stupid, but I see through the bullshit. You only want her not to be in that house because you know your other chicks are coming in and out that house, and they might tell Nia some stuff that she's not ready to hear. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have Ray J, Young Berg, and Sincere, and they're talking about the whole situation that went down with Ray J getting arrested. And this scene was kind of cute to me. I thought it was kind of funny, you know, because Ray J was just sitting there, you know, it was funny because he's like, you know, I've never been in trouble. I've never, you know, gotten into any situation with the law, and I done spent all this time in jail. And Young Berg is like, did you spend, you know, 9 days or 9 years in jail? He was like, nah, my dude, I spent 9 hours. And on top of that, it was jail in Beverly Hills, so that shit don't even help my street cred. So that whole situation had me cracking up. Then they changed the topic to Tierra Marie. So Young Berg tells Ray J, you know what, Ray, I got to tell you something. You know, I want you to know I'm working with Tierra Marie. Me and her have been back in the studio, and we've been getting along really well. So Ray J's kind of surprised, like, damn, as much as Tierra Marie went in on you and, you know, basically put you on blast, cussed you out, like you working with her, like for real. He's like, but you know what, I'm not tripping. I honestly thought that you were going to say that you fucked her. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's what you were going to tell me, not that you work with her. And he's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I haven't fucked her yet, but I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? If it goes down, it goes down. And they're basically talking about, you know, not only Tierra Marie, but all these other chicks in the industry that they basically all shared amongst themselves. So that just goes to show that a lot of these dudes are just passing around these chicks, and they're, you know, they're okay and they're content with being just industry hoes. You know, so the whole situation is nuts. And then Sincere is talking about how Tierra Marie hit him, and then Ray J's like, yeah, you better watch out, Young Berg, because when she gets mad, she might hit your ass next. So that whole little man situation with them talking was just funny and silly as hell. Moving on to the next scene. The next scene, we have Miss Nikki Baby, and she's going to go meet with her mama. And so she tells her mom, you know what, this is not cool. You need to get Masika off that billboard right now. And her mom is like, you know what, this is business. You know, Sam is leasing the place from us. And Nikki's like, but you guys own the place. It doesn't matter. And her mom's like, this is business. This is his club. He's leasing it from us. He has a right to put whoever he wants to put on the billboard. You know, Nikki is obviously too ditzy to understand that. So she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just be cool with her being on the billboard for a strip club that my parents own? And then her mom's like, you know what, don't even worry about that. I got something for you. You know, I don't know what Molly Ma was thinking, but he must not understand that this woman is a criminal and that she, you know, she has a really shady background. So then all of a sudden Nikki's mom pulls out Masika's headshots out of her purse, and I'm like, this so scripted ass shit. So she pulls out the mug shots, and you can tell it's a Masika when she's probably like, you know, 17, 18 years old. So then that's when they start contriving to basically find something to do with this mugshot. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next thing we have Little Fizz. Little Fizz decides to basically go out and meet up with Moniece to talk to Moniece about everything that went down. Moniece met up with Amanda. So you can tell right off the bat that this whole situation is going to be very, very heated. Moniece is upset. Moniece feels like, you know what, Little Fizz is constantly taking up for Amanda, but never hearing her side of the story. Little Fizz feels like, you know what, you need to respect whoever I'm with. Regardless if it's Amanda or with another girl, you need to stay in your place and stop trying to fight every female I'm with. Stop being disrespectful to every female I'm with. And Moniece is telling Little Fizz, I don't feel like Amanda's the right person to be a parent to my son. It does not seem like she's ready. All she wants to do is whore around, jump from, you know, dude to dude. And it doesn't seem like she wants to be a part of Cameron's life. And Little Fizz is like, yes, she does. You know, Amanda's a good mom to Cameron. That little boy loves Amanda. You know what I'm saying? And she's been there doing more for Cameron than you have. So then at that point in time, Moniece gets pissed off. She starts going off on Little Fizz. And Little Fizz is like, you better not put your hands on Amanda again. If not, you got another thing coming. And Moniece is like, watch, I'm going to drag that bitch the next time I see her. I got something for her. And she starts threatening Amanda. And she ends up just walking off the scene. So the whole situation is just a mess. It's sad that now that this whole situation went down with Amanda and Moniece, now it's affecting Moniece's and Little Fizz's relationship once again. Because before all this, Moniece and Little Fizz were getting along last week. And now they're back in each other's throats. So the whole situation is just really sad. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have Ray J. Ray J is deciding to meet up with his father. He just found out that he's going to get 3 years of probation instead of jail time. And so Willie is there. Willie is Ray J and Brandy's father. And this was a really touching moment. It was really cool to see like a father and son. And this is probably the most humble that we've seen Ray J the entire season. You know, you could tell that he was very embarrassed for what he put the family through. And you can tell that him and his father have a very, very close relationship. And that's one thing that we don't see a lot on television is that, you know, that male is that son-father dynamic. And I think Ray J and Willie play that dynamic really well. You know, Willie was straight up with Ray J and was telling Ray J, you know, I'm disappointed in you. You weren't raised like this. You weren't raised to go in and out of jail. You never had trouble when you were younger. How the hell are you getting into all this trouble now in your 30s? And Ray J's like, you know what, Pops, you're right. You know, I'm wrong. He took full responsibility. He wasn't popping off. He wasn't going off on his dad. He wasn't talking back. He stayed in a child's place. So I so respected seeing that dynamic between Ray J and his dad. And his dad told him, you know, we love you. You know, we love you. We care about you. We want you to do the right thing. And Ray J ends up promising his dad he's going to turn over a new leaf. He's going to slow down on drinking. He's going to do the right thing. He wants to be a one-woman man to Princess and settle down with Princess. But he also feels like, you know, he's upset at his mom because he feels like, you know, his mom is continuously siding with Tierra Marie and trying to be friends with Tierra Marie, even though he's moved on from that. And Ray J's dad's like, you know what, Tierra Marie and your mom are always going to have a special place in each other's hearts. You know, you can't do nothing about that, but you need to stop breaking her heart and stop getting into trouble. Like I said, that whole dynamic between them was really cool to see that. And I'm glad that Willie came and decided to be on the show and talk to Ray J before things got more out of control. Moving on to the next scene. The last and final scene, we have Omarion and April. And Omarion and April are like my favorite couple. And I was watching this show and they literally had me in tears. Like this was like just a beautiful delivery. You know, because like I said, I always wanted to have a water birth, but because both of my pregnancies were so high risk, I couldn't. You know, I had to have my babies in the hospital and, you know, doped up and, you know, epidural and doctors and my husband, everybody was there. You know, it was just crazy. It was just so much chaos both times when I had the boys. But to watch April and Omarion, I just thought it was really sweet. It was very natural, and a lot of girls don't do natural births, even if they're not high risk. They rather just be in the hospital and everything else. So I thought it was cool that April wanted to deliver in water. She didn't use any type of, you know, epidural, any type of medication. She did everything natural, the way that God made our bodies. You know, kudos to her. I don't think I could have dealt with having a natural birth because those contractions hurt so bad, but she handled it. And it was just really sweet to just see black love, to see both of them together, and how he was kissing her every time she had a contraction. I was like, oh my God, Tear! I was like crying. I had my little box of tissue. Y'all know I'm damn sensitive. I be talking shit, but I'm sensitive as hell. So I was in bed like literally like crying and shit because it was just so sweet. And I was just so happy for them. And it was just so good to see a guy there involved from the, throughout her whole pregnancy to the delivery. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be a situation where you're having this kid by yourself. You don't know who the father is, or the father just decides to just be a fucking deadbeat and not be there in the room with you when you have the child. Like, childbirth is such a special thing, and it took two to make that child, so there should definitely be two people there at all times to watch that child be born. It's sad that a lot of people, go through these pregnancies and they have their kids and they don't have the father there, or they're beefing throughout the whole pregnancy and it's nothing but drama. But I really loved Omarion and April's dynamic. Is their relationship perfect? No, nobody has a perfect relationship. But when it comes down to it, Omarion has stepped up like a man, April has stepped up like a woman, and they've made it about their child, and they were able to bring their child into the world, into a healthy environment. The family members were there, they were downstairs, even though April's mom wasn't there, at least Leslie was there. So the whole situation was just really, really sweet. So I really enjoyed watching it, so congratulations to them. Their son's name is Mega. It makes it seem like the boy is half black, Asian, and half Transformer. So I'm just like, Mega, that is such a funny name. And then they have 2 A's at the end of it. But with that being said, the baby is adorable. He had a head full of hair. He was just so cute. It's like, I love little newborn babies. I refuse to have any more, but I like looking at other people's newborn babies, and he was just adorable, and it was just a really, really sweet moment. So congratulations once again to Omarion and April for bringing some normality to this ratchet ass show. Okay, how you doing? Anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite part of the episode was. How did you feel about the whole situation with Hazel E, Tierra Marie, and Masika? How did you feel about Omarion and April? So if you're not following me, I am Lovely T on Twitter, and I am Lovely T 2002 on Instagram. Make sure you guys check me out. So until next time, deuces.